In this video, I want to talk about why so many people like to be in relationships or want to be in relationships, yet so many fail. In other videos, I've talked about the difference between the linear reality and a circular reality. So when it comes to relationships, when we look at the linear reality of how to be in a relationship, it usually comes from a place where we're looking for approval and acceptance and a completion of the individual through the partnership with somebody else. That usually ends up to be a relationship of codependency. And if you've been around long enough and you've gone through enough relationships, you come to realize that codependency will never work. It will never last. Unless you are willing to accept the consequences of those kind of relationships, which unfortunately a tremendous amount of people will and do, not because they are not happy with the relationship, but they're stuck and trapped in the fear of losing of the relationship, and therefore they're willing to sacrifice their own independence or their own identity in relationships. And a lot of times that lasts for 20, 30, 40 years, and in many cases it ends up in a horrible breakup in a relationship, not so much as a breakup in a relationship, but usually as a disease, and therefore one of the people in the relationship will die. It's a choice and consequences of living in this reality. So if you as an individual are interested and serious about living in what I call an authentic relationship with a different approach and understanding and accepting why I am in this situation, why am I in this relationship, and how do I change that relationship from a codependency to not so much an independent relationship. Yes, there's an independence as to what am I contributing to this relationship, what is the other individual or individuals, because you can have relationships at work, it's a personal, with your parents, with the kids, with a partner. They all have the same foundation of what am I putting into this relationship, how am I looking at this relationship, how am I looking at this partnership. We pretty much know this one, it's all for looking approval, looking for acceptance. But in this perspective, this reality, it's about what am I presenting to that relationship. And in this situation, in the circular aspect, I don't commit to the individual, I commit to the relationship. So at the same time as I commit to the relationship, the other people have to commit to the relationship too. That means that I have to identify a boundary and a set of values that I put into my relationships with everybody around me. So with a husband or a partner or a wife, whatever situation it is, a partner, whatever shape it is, you need to create a set of values and a set of boundaries that work for you in an authentic way with a win-win outcome, and express that and share that with your partners, and they can commit to the same experience. Providing that is what they're willing to do. And that's going to make the difference whether they're coming from this place or they're coming from this place. Coming from this place, this reality, I believe, I know that you are not engaging into relationship for the first time as a new experience. Even though in this physical reality, you are now engaging in a new experience with this individual in a relationship. And as that relationship grows and the commitment becomes stronger and stronger, you are not creating a new experience, you're reliving a previous experience. Now, it's not so much on you in the physical, on a mental level, but more on a truth, emotional, soul level. In this reality, I totally have to include and always include the incarnation aspect. So for example, if you engage in a relationship with somebody that you have a huge connection with, you are not creating a new relationship, you are re-entering a previous relationship. So the question is then, how did that relationship end up in that previous experience, in that previous life? So as you engage in a relationship, that awareness, that understanding, the emotions from those experiences will be shown to you through the law of attraction. So you can have a mindset and a truth about how you want to create your story in relationship with other people, but you are not the only one that is controlling the outcome of the actual experience, because you're not creating a new one, It's your soul that's involved with the incarnation aspect and recreating a previous relationship that ended up in probably a horrible way through whatever experiences in that life happened, and you are here now. You are here now helping this heal that relationship in the past. When you do not understand that and you live in this reality when you're meant to be in this reality, incorporating those pieces, and you don't, then the outcome, the reality of that relationship is becoming completely different than what you intended, because you're stuck in this space instead of understanding this is where I'm coming from. So if you are a circular being using these pieces, working with these pieces, creating an outcome, then you understand the path and why the emotions are there. If you are a circular being living in this reality, ignoring all of this, then you can understand the devastating outcome and why the relationships don't work. So, to be honest with you, spiritual relationships are the toughest, are the most difficult relationships to be in. And that's why it's so important for you to empower yourself to understand what relationship I am. Am I in? Am I in one of these? So that means it could be purely platonic, purely sexual. It could be just a colleague at work. We're trying to get results within this reality. Or am I coming from this place? Am I in one of these relationships? Now I have to incorporate this into that relationship, and if I don't, the outcome of the relationship will be the result of the emotions that I feel. So what that means is I am afraid of losing a loved one. I am afraid of losing my partner. So therefore my commitment to the relationship will be limited, will be resistant, will be restricted because of the fear of losing my partner. You cannot have a fear of something that hasn't happened. You can only have a fear of something that has happened. So what has happened? In the past, I've lost my partner, and therefore now I'm not willing to commit to a relationship because of the fear of the failure from the past. Any and all emotions are not coming from what is going to happen. Any and all emotions come from what has happened. But that doesn't mean that you have experienced them. That doesn't mean that you actually have lost a loved one. Yes, if you don't understand why you're here, you're coming from this place, living in this place, you will go through relationship after relationship and break up and break up and break up and experience the same outcome. And what will happen? We'll just give up. We'll just stop even being committed to a relationship. Ending up in a life without the commitment to a relationship, losing out on the loving, the trusting, respecting. Why? Because we're stuck in this reality, and if we only would have known that this is who we are, this is what we have to incorporate, the outcome of the experience would be completely different. So my question to you is, are you one of those that lives in this reality, belongs over here, sees the relationship constantly fail, fall apart, being challenged, tremendous amount of fear and tremendous amount of emotions around the failing, the rejection, the worthlessness, even as far as your sexuality, as your mentality towards the whole experience, the walls that we put up around it, the barriers we create, like, no, I will not commit to a relationship because I'm so afraid I'm not worthy, I'm going to fail, I'm going to be rejected, I'm going to be violated in an experience. In my relationships, that is not because of what is going to happen, that is because of what has happened in the past and the emotions that you feel from those experiences. So when are you going to commit to this reality where you belong instead of this reality? Get yourself the answers and the tools that you need to create the outcome from the previous relationship to the next one, or even the one that you're in, because you're not alone in that relationship. That individual that's in that partnership with you is there most likely for the same reason as why you were there. And you're asked by each other's souls to actually help each other heal the failing of the relationship from the past. You don't do that, and you are meant to do that, you will keep attracting and you will keep repeating the same experiences because you don't understand who you are. And you don't understand that you're supposed to be here in plus instead of being here. It's your choice to make that transition. It's your time, it's your power, it's your experience, and it's your opportunity to change the outcome of your life from this horrible experiences to this and have amazing experiences.